What's up, dude? Hey, I'm all
I
the
was
way
just
over
saying,
here in Michigan, bro. How you doing?
woo! I'm in California.
How's the
Boy.
weather out there?
I
No,
mean,
I'm serious. How's the weather out there? How's the weather out there? Because the weather's cold here already. So
is
how's
it
the weather out
really?
there? Yeah, it's already so we're in like we're in 50-degree weather. Like actually no, it's like 40-30 degree weather tonight. Like, yeah, so it's getting cold.
Wow. No,
So
it started sprinkling a couple of days this week, but like we're getting ready for winter to start hitting us here anytime soon.
oh, it's sprinkling. Oh, you guys are sleeping. We've been having wet like storms, thunderstorms and stuff. Oh, it's sprinkling in California. I miss Cali. I miss being out in California, bro.
You know what? I spend a lot of money for these privileges out here. To have some
Oh, dude.
damn 2 more weeks of nice weather, it costs a lot of money to live out in California. Hey, I want to say what's up really quick. We've got a lot of people in the audience. I want to say what's up to Duran,
Yes.
my man in Amsterdam. Actually, my man in Amsterdam just got back. That's Kevin. Kevin
Oh,
was just in
nice.
Europe for a while, and I can't wait to talk to Kevin.
Okay.
Say Wong is in here, and then there was somebody in here who I wasn't sure. J Knock 007. I'm not sure who that is, but thank you for tuning in, and I'm excited to see who you are. I'm intrigued. I want to know who that is in real life.
I don't know. That might be my buddy Jalen from work. I don't know. I like we like that could be. I've got a couple people that I had tuning in from the job, so that might be somebody from the job. So I
Woo!
don't know for a fact, but yeah. Hey, whoever's tuning in, we're happy for you. Hey, and we're happy to see you. We like regardless, like new people tuning in, we're okay with that. So like that's all gravy. So most definitely. Dude, thank you
I want to
so
thank everybody that's tuning in because honestly, I can remember a time when we were doing. I mean, for months at a time when we would do this, and it would be like one person watching for like 15 seconds and then they drop out and then you're just talking to dead air for 4 or 5 minutes and then so
no, no doubt, no doubt. No, I'm happy to, you know what? I'm just happy to be a part of this family, and I'm happy for the family to have, not only engulfed me into this family, but also like I feel like we're going to be broadening our horizons as well. So like I'm totally okay with that.
that's
Welcome and
right.
thank you, Saber Rattle crew. I love you.
And yeah, we definitely want to thank everybody that tunes in every week. If you guys have any comments, you know what, this is it's really interesting because Uppercuts and I have been talking about the show. Let's be realistic about things. Uppercuts comes in with different sets of skills than Marissa did. This is what Marissa did for a living. Uppercuts is figuring this out as he is going along.
Yes.
But in those moments of not being able to necessarily be the same, that could actually, in my mind, be a very good thing because this gives us a chance to re-evolve the show. This show has changed many times in
Yeah.
5.5 years. Kevin Hogan can tell you he used to be a producer on the show. Actually, he produced probably the best segment we've ever had on the show, California Adventures, where he would go to different conventions and just take pictures and tell us about what those conventions were. So this show has changed many, many times over the years, and I appreciate all the people that have stuck with us through all of these changes. And we're going to change again, and hopefully the show changes and evolves to become better as we get bigger.
And I'm giving it my best shot. But again, like I said, I know this show has gone through plenty of metamorphoses and or I don't even know if that's a correct term, but yeah. And I all I know is that I'm proud to finally be a part of this. So please just bear with me. Be
So
patient.
yeah, so Say Wong had a question here. He said, "How many producers have come and have gone?" So that's a really good and interesting question. And when you think about it,
Oh, your mic cut out, buddy. I'll give you 1 second. I will keep it rolling. I will do my thing. I don't know the answer to Van's question. I can't even begin to even give you guys an answer, but I can tell you that as one of the new producers on this show, and like I said, just stepping into this, it's been quite trying but exciting at the same time. So I've definitely from my perspective, I came into this, I got kind of thrust into this, and it's been definitely very interesting for me as a new producer slash director. But I'll let go kind of elaborate on that.
So this show has been running for about 5.5 years now. And in the 5.5 years, first off, the reason we got started during COVID. And this show started in response to Kyber Cave. For some of you that don't know, Kyber Cave is a lightsaber company, first and foremost. We
Yeah.
had a store in downtown Fairfield. I've had a storefront for 7 years. In fact, this is the first year I've not had a storefront. Um, we're just going around to different conventions and such now. So this is the first year I've not had a storefront. When we very first started in 2018, uh, it was my goal. In fact, we didn't have a website for the first 2.5 years because I had this vision where I wanted to be against every other company. I wanted to do things differently, but I didn't want people to just go to my website and buy my product. I wanted Kyber Cave to be a place where you could touch the product, you could pick it up, feel how heavy it was, and more importantly, go home with it that night. At that time in the lightsaber industry, 8 years ago, if you wanted a lightsaber, particularly from a lot of the American companies, I don't need to list who they are, but for the American grown companies, because the Chinese companies hadn't grown in their name yet, but it would take anywhere from a three month to 1 year lead time to get a lightsaber. So, and the American with our lust for next day Amazon delivery, people were getting tired of waiting 3 and 6 months to buy a lightsaber and then to finally own that thing.
On that, yeah,
Particularly when you're going to spend $600, $700, $800, you want that thing now.
yeah, most definitely. I mean, I haven't spent any money, but I mean, I definitely want a lightsaber, and I know how. So, like, I definitely get
In
that.
time, my friend, in time. Be patient.
I'm just giving you crap. But no,
But
go
the,
ahead.
the point of the matter is, at that time period, the lightsaber industry was completely different animal than it is nowadays.
No doubt, no
It
doubt.
didn't. It wasn't until 2000. I guess tonight's gonna be a history of lightsabers. It wasn't until 2003 that the first commercially produced lightsabers were made by a company called Master Replica. Master Replica is actually down here in the Bay Area, but they were the first ones to make movie quality sabers. Now, the thing with the Master Replicas is they had the permanently attached blades that you couldn't take off. So, and they weren't technically fighting lightsabers. They were
No,
more
they weren't.
display lightsabers
They were
that
display
people.
lightsabers. They were fun lightsabers. They were your classic lightsabers. They were your Vader, your Luke,
Right, your Obi-Wan.
Obi-Wan. That was it. Your old Obi-Wan, not your new Obi-Wan, not your
And
episode
let's
one
keep it real.
Obi-Wan. Yeah. So they were
Whether it's a display or whether it's a toy, or if you have a lightsaber in your hand, you are going to fight with it at some point.
heck yeah, I'm gonna fight with it. Like I'm gonna hit something with that thing. I'm sorry, I'm gonna want to hit something with that. It may not be on purpose, and somebody may be upset about it.
Oh, it's
But
going to
I'm
be on
gonna
purpose.
I'm gonna hit something with that thing. So like yes, no, and so, but there was only like you said, when that company came out, like there was a very limited amount. They were, like I said, they were mass producing certain lightsabers, but there was only a few. Like there was only those core lightsabers, if I'm not mistaken. Like
Right.
yeah,
And eventually, Master Replicas evolved, and then
of
eventually
course.
other companies came on the scene. But the point of the matter is, when I got started, Kyber Cave started in 2018. So I got started 15 years behind when the industry started. Before that, it was people going to Home Depot and like buying little parts and
Yeah,
kind of making their own little
just
builds.
changing their own builds, and doing their own builds. Like that's kind of how it kind of came down to. Like
Right. So for many years, Master Replica was the thing where that was the only choice you had, and then other companies started sparking up. But that was where I came in. So the whole point of the matter is, when I got into it, I got into this industry 15 years after it really kind of it birthed itself. It had
yeah,
been there had been rumblings, like I said, people were making stuff in their backyards. There were really tiny producers, that were making things out of the garage, but there was no company really backing this, and definitely no Lucasfilm involvement
Of
in
course.
any of these sabers.
And like we also have to preface that making these sabers is not a cheap endeavor. Like when you like, it's not cheap. So a lot of these guys that were in their backyards or in their garages or their shops doing this thing, that it was an expensive endeavor. They're it wasn't something that was cheap that they could just keep pumping out, mass producing. This was something that took time. Like I said, you're machining a die cast metal like
Right, for CNC machines. These weren't
and,
just
yeah, and whether you're RGB or freaking or whatnot,
well,
now
NeoPixel didn't exist
NeoPixel is now
anymore.
NeoPixel is now the kind of standard. But back then it was a lot of RGB, what they, like you said, these sabers weren't even necessarily fight worthy. You could beat the crap out of them, but they would show their wear and tear. So
Right.
Yeah, this was back when that whole evolution was starting to come about, and it was starting to grow.
Right. And I would advise some of you, particularly if you're watching this at a later time, to hit pause on your button and go back through these comments really quick. There are some comments, particularly by Raf. Raf used to do a dojo, and he could tell you that, in the early days when some of the dojos started adopting these things, they were using it for, like choreography, and a lot of the martial arts studios started adopting the lightsabers because it was very similar to a sword, but it was a fun thing that they could get little kids interested in. You can still teach the same fundamental skills, sword skills. You just have something that looks like Darth Vader's lightsaber.
Of course, yeah.
So when these things started getting made, when we came on the scene in 2018, NeoPixel was a brand new thing. And at that time, you couldn't fight with NeoPixel. In fact, we had a different kind of saber that I personally love. My favorite saber that doesn't even, I don't think it even exists anymore. If there's anybody in the chat that knows of, I don't think companies even make this saber anymore. But when I got first in, you had a choice between the LED sabers that were more for showing off, and then you had what was called a stunt saber. A stunt saber was a light up saber only. So it made no noise, it didn't do any of that. But this saber is strictly for beating the hell out of each other. These sabers were made for the competitive, the saber legions, and I'm not sure if even Lightspeed existed at that time. But
So
these
these
sabers
had
were meant
no
to take.
sound. They had
Well,
no
that
sound. They had no sound.
no sound whatsoever. It was strictly because I know with the saber legion, one of the requirements is at the beginning of your battle, your light must turn on. So
Okay.
if during the battle your light goes out, you're fine. But at the beginning of the battle, you must be able to turn the light on, like you would in a lightsaber battle.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
because in the early days, you would have a lot of these like sabers that had these, these hilts, but then you would have the battery pack kind of rattling around in
Rattling
there.
around in there. Yeah, yeah. Because like that battery pack was so loose. So when you were swinging and batting that thing around, your battery pack could like dislodge. Correct.
Just blow up, disintegrate, basically, because you're
Okay.
swinging so hard with it. So the point of the matter, is you had your saber that was kind of for showing off and for had the cool. You could change the colors, you could change the light, which are now the standard sabers.
That's the standard.
That
Like
was
the NeoPixel, you can do all kind of crazy weird stuff with your
right, but NeoPixel wasn't necessarily a thing at that
thing
time.
at that time. Yeah,
Actually, in 2018 when I first got in, NeoPixel was brand new.
brand new.
So people definitely were not fighting with
No,
NeoPixels.
no, no, not at all.
But from that time, like I said, they had stunts and then just your baselit saber. Even at that time too, I remember because we had a repair shop. God damn, I feel so old. It's only been like 8 years I've been in this industry. But when we had our repair shop, you would either choose most of the time, yeah, unless you bought a special core because that was brand new with the Chinese sabers, where
Yeah,
they were giving you the choice of colors. But with the American sabers, you only got one color.
yeah, yeah. That's
So
what
you
that
had, yeah,
you got stuck with one color. You didn't have the ability to like change your colors within just by pressing. I mean, you can control the things with your phone now. Like
right.
that's the crazy thing now. Like it's insane. Like
Exactly, but back then you just had. So guess what? I got a lot of red lightsabers. I got like one white just because. Oh, the other thing they had back in the day is you could get these little colored discs. So what
That
you would
would
do
be
is
like a
you'd get a
color,
white
right?
blade and then pop in a blue colored disc or a red or whatever.
Oh, that's great. That's crazy. That's insane.
But it was
Uh,
never as good as God. I didn't realize tonight was going to turn into the history of lightsabers.
hey,
Um,
I'm kind of happy about that though. Like,
and Joe Mar, thank you for your patience. Oh, by the way, I wanted to let everybody know the reason we were late tonight is we were supposed to have a completely different guest on tonight. Um, and I guess at noon she messaged me on my personal page to say that she was not going to be able to make it. But we have like a separate page that supposedly has the director and me and everybody, so we can meet. She did not let us know on that page, so we did not know until about 10 minutes before the show that she wasn't coming. Um, so we have a fantastic guest waiting backstage. I can't wait for you to meet him. But I guess he's going to get a little lesson here on the history of lightsabers tonight too. So
for sure.
Joe Mar's getting a history too. He'll be able to teach classes when we're done. What Ralph says, I remember there was a lightsaber company made with a detachable blade a few years after Master Replicas came out. Yeah, there was a lot of change in the industry. Things were happening really fast between 2003. Well, like I said, by the time I got in, it had already been existing for 15 years.
Yeah, yeah.
So you would fight because we had a dojo. We were one of the few stores. Well, first off, we were one of the few stores, period. At
Period.
that time, most everything you had to order online.
And I remember coming to the store. I remember coming to the store and hanging out with Zayo and seeing
I
just
think
the
we were in
whole.
the mall when you
Yeah,
came to the store,
yeah.
right?
You were in the mall. You were in the mall. Yeah, when
Yeah,
I came to the store, you guys were in the mall. So that was 2019, 2020, I think, when I
yeah,
came to the store. Yeah.
yeah, 20, probably 19. Yeah,
Yeah,
19 because it would have
19,
been right at the
20,
beginning of the
19,
year.
20. Yeah, somewhere around there. But so I don't want to, I'm actually really stoked on this whole history lesson, but I don't want to keep Jomar waiting too long. And I wanted to get into the flow artist real quick. Is that cool? I still have a flow artist. Is that
You're
okay?
right. What was why did we go into the whole history of lightsabers? There
I
was a point to all of that.
I freaking don't know. I have no clue. Like we're we're totally winging this thing, bro.
Welcome to my world.
I have no idea, but I do want to get into the flow artist, and I want to get Jomar on here. So I'm gonna show you the flow artist. Our flow artist is brought to you. I, luckily our lovely flow producer James Kaiser he hooked us up with this. It's Jing Jing. Shoot, I forgot to write it down, but I do.
Wasn't this Flow Warrior? I thought this was Flow Warriors.
No.
Did I get it wrong?
I think you might have gotten it wrong, or I could have gotten it wrong. There's a possibility. He sent a couple. He sent me one for this week and next week, and I thought this was this week's. I could have jumped ahead and like skipped ahead, but this is the. I'm gonna bring you the flow artist that I produced that I threw on here. So here we go. So that was at Jing Jing Mong.
That was not Flow Warrior.
That was not Flow. I told you that wasn't Flow Warrior. I, you know what?
So, you know what it is? We'll talk about more off screen, but sometimes James will send several ahead of time. So you
Yeah.
just got to remember to go back to the oldest one if you're trying to say it doesn't really matter what order it goes in, but
Hey, I still liked it. Yep, I'm gonna keep going because you lost your audio. You know what? I feel like that might have been even karma for you for your audio going out. Because I think I still did a good job on producing and showing that flow artist. So where I'm gonna bring up what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wait for Go to come in, but I'm gonna go ahead and Jomar, I'm gonna bring you up and I'm gonna let you talk about some stuff. So I'm gonna add you to the stage. What's up, my man? How you doing?
Hey, good evening, guys. How's it going, man? How's
Doing good.
everybody doing tonight?
We're doing good.
Yeah,
I brought you up here just until Go gets back. I don't know when he's gonna get back, but
yeah, big bro hits me up and stuff, and I'm like, my old bud is about to go crash out pretty soon, and all of a sudden I get a call. I'm like, well, let me go ahead and answer this phone right quick, see what
hey,
cooking and stuff like
well,
that.
good looking out. Thank you for answering the phone, bro, and thank
Of
you
course,
for saving our butts. We appreciate you.
not
And
at all, man.
we appreciate you coming on. I'm gonna bring Go back on here, and we're just gonna get into kind of what you do. Okay, so I'm gonna let you kind of explain what you do and everything. So hold on, I'm gonna bring him up.
Ah!
Wah-bah!
So
So
let's
yeah,
just go so janky. When I slammed the table, like my mic went out.
yeah, he's dealing with boomer technology. I
Dude,
think
my
so.
mic came over on the main power.
Dude, I'm dealing with light issue, like light thing. Like I said, I wasn't ready. I'm like, okay, let's see what kind of lighting I have. Turn on every
Right.
light. Like, I even got my cell phone light on over here just in case in the background.
Hey, well, you can tell I definitely need to work on lighting issues where I'm at, dude. I'm
Yeah.
barely above survival. We are survival podcast. That's basically
Brother, I totally understand, man. I'm like right now, it's like, okay, I'm a little tan, but not really, not tonight.
well, you're always looking sexy, my man. How you doing,
Hey,
brother?
I'm doing good, man. Just wait. This weather, man, is just it's just a Debbie Downer. A lot of cons. Well, today I guess there was a Ohana con that I kind of missed out on. My nephews did it, so which
Oh
was a
yeah.
cool thing. But other than that, just on a recovery status, trying to stay out of the way, man. Let the force be chilling for now. You know what I mean,
Right. You got a what's up out there from Mr. Raphael, Mr.
Mister
Miyagi himself.
Brother, man. That's the bro right there, man. He pulls that off real good, bro. Let me tell you, he looks really good.
And you know who else he looks just like? I
Mm.
can't ever remember the guy's name, but you know the guy from like Ancient Aliens, the Asian guy that always be in the suit, and then he's got the nice hair, the nice fluffy hair or whatever. That's
I think so. I remember the other sensei from was that Three Ninjas, but nowhere near him though, bro. Nowhere near him, bro. You know what I mean? That
oh, dude.
but that's
Hey, Raph,
Raph, brother.
Raph, let us know what's the name of that guy, the guy from Ancient. Oh, there you go. Michu Kaku.
Mikado, Michado. It sound like a food.
Oh my god, it's not so racist. Hey everybody, we are both Asians, all right? So we cannot be canceled here if we cannot recognize our other Asian cultures spellings.
Hey,
Yeah,
we're all the
yeah,
same supposedly.
so
Hey,
So
one
man,
thing.
you and I this last weekend, or was it last weekend? We
2 weeks
did an
ago.
event together, Weekend Blender. First off, why don't you let people know who you are and a little bit about what you do? I was telling Lynn was like, so what does he do? And I was like, I don't really know how to tell you what he does. He does everything. Like, I don't know I can't categorize you, man.
Right. Well, I mean, you could say you ever heard the terminology. What was that word? Master of, jack
A
of all
jack of
trades,
all trades.
master of none. Yeah, there you go. I'm pretty much that guy. Try to dip my hands on a lot of other things, but other than that, I think I kind of stagnate more on the marketing and promotional side because if anything, I meet a lot of people. I'm a big factor. Believer of closed mouths don't get fed. So I'm one of them guys that really just talk to you. I'm an old school guy, man. I'm a
Right,
viber. I gotta
right,
feel the force, man. If I'm not forcing with you, then I ain't gonna force myself on you type deal.
right. Well, one of the things I found interesting about you, I met you probably, I want to say it was Galaxy Con or something like that in San Jose. And then you were right up the road in Vallejo, and we're like, oh, snaps. So you were right up the road from where I live. And then I met you again at VacaCon and then I brought you to come work with me at Weekend Blender this last weekend, because I just absolutely love your vibe. And it seems like I said, I wasn't really sure how to categorize you because you had, you knew people and you could get in touch with people for T-shirts and hats and martial arts. I mean, there were so many different categories that you had connections to.
Yeah, I feel like that guy Martin. I don't know if anybody remember that TV show Martin. That guy that be always hop. Yeah, I'm bro man. You know, what I mean, I'm the hookup guy pretty much. So, like I said, man, growing up in the '90s, and like I said, I fit that stereotypical Filipino. Yes, I did martial arts. I did the MMA. Yes, I did the breakdancing and the b-boying. Not so much of a DJ wiki, but I guarantee you that I had my tape deck already. You know, that record and for that slow jam. Remember Theo, Cameo days, but yeah, man, I kind of gravitate to more of, like more of the promotional marketing side. You know what I mean? Because I always thought it was interesting on getting to know a lot of people. And like I said, growing up old school, I mean, we didn't have like the texting and stuff like that. We had a thing called business cards and what do you call that? Rolodexes, man. You know what I mean? It wasn't like a quick. Man, we had MapQuest, brother. Remember we were talking about that on the way. We're on the way over there. Like we well, let me tell you, our weekend of fun of me working with Van was very interesting, man. We had a journey, and believe you me, there's gonna be many journeys to come because again, we just had a hell of a time, man. The radio wasn't even on, which was surprisingly, we just got to know each other. But it again, I mean, getting to know the saber world and what kind of makes sense to me being in this type of faction was I am a martial artist. It's funny because I do see a lot of, people come into the dojo, I mean, what are you in a dojo for? Are you fighting? Is it health and wealth? You know what? You can do more with the dojo than just, just fighting. You know what I mean? Just saying, you know what I mean? You got lightsaber battles and, I got stories to say of the times that I actually got a chance to go into Lucas films because I had a, ex-fiance that worked for Lucas, and I had a great time actually getting to know people in that type of industry. But getting caught up in corporate, you know what I mean? Again, it's a blessing and a curse that I got sick, but not really, because now I'm into something that like I said, when I first met Van, it was really funny because I sought out for him. I had this his picture and I was walking around the con. I was going, I don't know which con though, bro. I forgot,
That was
but
back
I was
con, dude. Because I
okay,
remember,
back at
I
con.
remember somebody's like, "Dude, your son is looking for you," and I was like, "My son is at home."
Yeah, right. And then I just went around, going around, just say, I'm looking for my father and stuff like that. And then, Big Bro was over there, and then we just had a great time from there on in and come to now, I mean, getting to know each other. And yeah,
That
man,
was when
Jack
we
of
met.
Trade.
Jason Mewes came to our table. Jason Mewes from View Askew.
Yes. Yes. I had a chance to meet that guy too. Snoogans, by the way, shout out to Jason Mewes, Snoogie Boogies. You know what I mean? And again, there were a couple of cons that we had a chance to work with. I'm actually with another set of vendors, Raz Spots. That's my nephew Edwin and Drew Fit Anime, which kind of got me into the game. You know what I mean? They were more into the Funko collectibles and stuff like that, anime. I kind of brought in more of the vibe of I mean, if it was your birthday and we were like, Starbucks, we'll sing happy birthday right then and there for you, right then and there, you know what I mean? But I mean, it's just getting to know this world of cons and stuff like that. It just opened up my eyes as like a kid in a candy store, let me tell you. Having fun.
Right. Well, I
You
definitely
know,
I
our
definitely
days.
have the. Sorry.
Go
Go
no,
ahead. Go
so
ahead.
no, I was gonna say, man, back in our days, it was flea markets, man.
Wow. That's
Swap meets and stuff. And the only guess was, oh, I think I seen him in Cops. Well, we're not gonna say nothing.
wow. Yeah, no, that's very interesting because I see, like I talk to my son a lot about I don't know, like kind of how cons work and things like that. And you see very much two different styles of vendors. The ones that kind of just sit back and they're reading a book and they're waiting for you to ask how much is this, and they're wanting you to buy. And then there's people like you and me who kind of get out in people's spaces and draw them into our space. We're kind of like that trapdoor spider.
Yes, yeah, huntsman. We're like yeah, the bear trap. And I tell you what though, man, it's an old skill that this generation doesn't have a chance to actually experience, because we had the malls, man. I mean,
Right,
it wasn't
right,
what it wasn't where I had to text you to get your vibe. It was actually, if I didn't, again, if the force wasn't strong with you, I'm out the
right,
door. You know what I
right.
mean? It's just like dating, it's just like getting a light your combat saver, man. You just don't want to get that again, you want to do your research, and I'm sure people have out there, but I mean, compared to the ones that I have, like, and compared to the sabers that I had a chance to, I mean, literally, dude, kid in the candy store. If you're a 90, 80 baby and low destruction, bro, there you go. You know what I mean? Get the bros come down, and I mean, who who doesn't want to, what I mean? Like lightsaber battles is like our pillow fight. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right.
It's our pillow fight. I mean, we were preaching this over there at the blender not too long ago. Like, we couples therapy. I mean, you may never know that, again, they don't know your product unless you actually play with it. Because again, growing up as a kid, we always saw the product and, oh, we want that, but when to actually play with it, and then,
Right.
man, it's a different thing. Like two spots, like you said about the vendors. There's two different sides of vendor, just like two types of sabers. You know what I mean? And I was very impressed with the hell. I mean, me being a martial artist, man, and my martial art background is judo. I was a state coach for Vallejo Judo Club. Shout out to Vallejo Judo Club. My nephews, Frankie and Acacia, they're the coaches over there. So if anybody want to learn how to fall in that aspect, go to that. But my lineage is modern arnis de mano. I take eskrima and arnis. Now, for those who don't know, that's Filipino martial arts, stick fighting,
Big
and those
shout out to
knows
a
John
screamer.
Wick. Yeah. Hey, what's up, brother?
Big shout out to a screamer. I love a screamer, and I like I have like two pair of screamer sticks. I don't even have them here with me, but like I've got two pair, bro, and like the screamer figure eights. That was one of my first things.
Christina Wallis, yes, sir.
yeah. So big shout out to that, bro. I had to step in and say like big up to that, especially big up to that Vallejo stuff, baby.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir. Yes,
I'm a
sir.
big fan of ice creamer. Yeah.
Glockito.
Yeah.
No, man. But yeah, like getting into these saber battles and stuff like that. And I said, you know what? It's fun to watch and stuff like that, but wouldn't it be fun to know to actually
Technique.
know the art itself, as far as, self defense, I mean,
Right.
health and wealth, I
Right.
mean, it's not just swinging a saber. I mean, could you imagine that? Hey, Van, could you imagine that 911 call? You know what I mean? 911. Yeah, man. I just got beat up with a guy with a light, a combat saber, man. I mean,
That
literally.
happened to somebody in Oregon. Somebody got broke. Somebody's house broke and got into, and somebody beat their ass with beat him up with a lightsaber.
That is funny,
So
man.
that has happened. But I want to bring up. You were, and I'm not really sure how we got here, but let's talk about it. You were talking about the health and wealth, and talking about that in relation with lightsabers. I want to commend the country of France. What was it? 7 years ago, they were the first country to acknowledge lightsaber combat as a true sport, as
That's
a
what.
sport of itself. And their reasoning was because at first they got a lot of blowback from people that were saying, "Oh, this is a movie. This is not something serious." But their argument was, look, if I can get children off the couch and exercising and using their bodies, who cares if they're using a lightsaber or using a sword or
That's
using,
it.
you know what I mean? They are
Yeah.
exercising, they are moving their body, and they're learning skills.
Well, and that's the thing too, man. I mean, the basic strikes for any even with the lightsaber, you may not think it's the thing, but it is like first, second strike. You know what I mean? Basic aspects of that strike. Like that number one. I mean, coming through with that lightsaber is just like throwing a hook punch. You know what I mean? Again, it's just all worded different now in the interest. And yes, it's fun for kids. You know what I mean? We don't have that engagement a lot lately. You know what I mean? People just
Right.
love to just bring their kids to the dojo, drop them off. And then first of all, dojos, I'm just gonna bluntly say this: we're not babysitters. And number one thing is, if you get more respect, if the teacher is getting more respect at home, then at home got to be fixed before you bring them into the dojo, because we're not there to like I said again, babysit. But hey, you know what? Again, that health and wealth, stretching and stuff. And as we get older, we know we're not going to go ahead and boot scoot, sit down, jujitsu style. I'm going to fight you. Nah, man. I mean,
Right.
usually they fight dirty, but if I had my saber ready, Kyber Cave, lightsaber, combat saber, who would think twice? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, attack
Well,
me,
these-
see what happens. You know what I mean? And it's just like fencing. Again, it's just the logic and the whole, yeah, the whole logic of things, of how you look at that perspective. You know what I mean?
Well, and the cool thing about lightsaber combat in general is that because it's a round blade, it's basically a sword with infinite sides. So you can incorporate, if you come from a kendo background, or if you come from more of a medieval long-handled sword background, there are different styles. It doesn't matter what background you can come from. You can incorporate the lightsaber into every single other style.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And again, it just determines on how you interpret that logic. You know what I mean? Again, judo was, you know, um, for a lighter person, you know what I mean? Again, you got a 130 somebody pound guy, tossing somebody about like 170, and you're wondering why, how they did it. And again, you got a John Wick guy knowing how to use a pencil. Now, again, I prefer a Sharpie marker, just for a little bit more depth. But pencil works well. You know what I mean? Especially the mechanical ones. You know what I mean? but
Right.
but other than that, you can take that particular logic with the martial. It's pretty much combat lightsabering is just like martial arts. You know what I mean? You're just showing off, your strength in your wrist, your agileness, your thing, but always safety first. Always safety first. You know what I mean?
Right. Right. Oh man, I am just messing with it. Um, what is it that you feel is the main tie-in with what you do, like with your promotions, and with everything else you're doing with your cousins, with the different types of businesses that they have? Because it seems like you're kind of like this glue that holds together a lot of other groups.
Well, like I said, with the engagement with, again, I'm an old school guy. You can say I'm like, I would like to be the Nick Fury of what I'm doing right now. I got my certain set. You know what I mean? I got my brother over here. He can be Iron Man, but he can be Incredible Hulk at the same time. I got my little Tony Stark. I got my little Wakandan guy. You know what I mean? But again, each one of these guys have a certain speciality. I'm just gonna pick up whatever anybody else is not doing. Everybody, again, not everybody can just talk and talk their butt cheeks off and and tell a great story or anything like that. You know what I mean? So again, just kind of fill in those gaps and kind of just work on that. And then it's chemistry as well. You know what I
Right.
mean? You gotta have that again, that force. You know what I mean, with you. You're gonna feel it. You know what I mean? A couple of times. My first time working with you was a great experience, and I'm very thankful for Big Bro for having me there. And not only that, I get to hone in on certain, man, I didn't know what a NeoPixel or RBG was.
Well, I was going to ask you, it's kind of interesting because, like, you can only be a virgin once, right? But I was going to ask you, like, what was it like? Because for you, that weekend was basically a baptism in fire. You had to learn about lightsabers, everything that weekend, because you didn't. I mean, other than just kind of playing with it and seeing what we did, you don't have personal experience with lightsabers.
No, not at all. My lightsaber was my screamer sticks. You know what I mean? And again, anything that replaces that, we call it the blade in hand. You know what I mean? So
Right.
anything that kind of replaces that, you know what I mean, it is again a homage to our martial art. Now again, just like boxing, you got your shadow boxing, you got your gloves. We're gonna get back into again the simple basic logic of training. Again, when you get into these sabers thing, again, we want to add really emphasize this the safety, the distancing of safety, you know what I mean? And I guess the first time was actually started I think I started Order 66 when over there. We had a lightsaber lightweight battle and everybody was engaged and actually having fun. And that's the thing,
Was that
having
when
fun.
Princess Peach was beating the hell out of Luigi?
Oh my God, yeah, I haven't even I still got to shoot that to you, big bro. But I mean, but it's refreshing to see some of these cosplayers too. And as a matter of fact, I mean, this is directed to the cosplayers, man. You can never go wrong of upgrading your cosplay. There's always a mashup, you know what I mean? So, everybody, again, we had Optimus Prime. I have an
That was
awesome picture
sick.
of Optimus. Yeah, and it was funny. I had just got it out of the restroom, saw Optimus Prime, and I told Big Bro, "Excuse me, I'll be back right quick." And then Van just looked at me, did what he was doing, and I brought back the
Optimus
Prime.
Prime. And I mean, not like a person size. I mean, this guy was like on
This guy
stilts.
was huge, and I felt bad because he kind of went some ways, but for me to bring him back all the way back, because it was one of them ones where it's just like, hey, hold on, I need him to hold a combat saber because, again,
Right.
the crossover, Optimus Prime with the with Luke Skywalker hill. Come on, man, it's just like. You're fulfilling, and then wait till GI Joe comes out. You know what I mean? Ooh, you know what I mean? The product lines is just gonna the mashups and stuff like that is endless, man.
Oh
And we
yeah.
were just cooking up on some ideas not too long ago, which is you present that, and when it's a go, let's go. That's why we call him Van Gogh, Van Gozy.
Yeah, I'm
We're
very
Van.
excited. We were working on some ideas this weekend. I don't really want to reveal it here because there might be people in the industry watching the show and want to take the idea. But we were talking to different customers about an idea that Jomar and I had, and we were like, "What would you think about this?" And we had people that were ready to pre-order, and when we didn't even have an actual product, we
Right,
just
bro.
had an idea for a product. Yeah.
Yeah, and
But
that's when you know
that
that's
guy
when you know
said,
your product's good.
"Give me two of them."
Yeah. And that's when you believe your product's really good, when you actually have the talk and the pre-orders. And it's always good to have that customer feedback. If you don't have that customer feedback, there's not going to be no return. So when they come back, and then this is what I'm with the nephews, actually having a chance to, again, work in their world and stuff and filling in the gaps and stuff. And it's like, I guarantee you that a lot of the guys that come to the cons and that knows, the vendors, my nephews and stuff like that, we got a great return. And it was just be a friend, come by, what I mean? If you have any questions, hang out, don't, if it's your birthday, believe you me, we're going to make a spectacle out of that.
Bro, I just had the dopest idea that has ever been had.
Man, that's between me and you. The good ideas keep on flowing, big bro.
Dude, I was thinking like, okay, I was thinking of a way to like give people an idea of what we were thinking about, and then that made me think of like the ultimate one. But like, so the idea that Jomar and I came out to would be an homage to the Bay Area. Let's just say that it would be a
Yes.
saber that had something to do with the Bay Area. But when I thought about that, I was like, dude, what if I made a curved hilt lightsaber that was California?
That'd be awesome. The hill, and it'd be
The
like a
hilt,
Count Dooku kind of. You
yes,
know
it's
how
a
Count.
curved. California is a curved hilt lightsaber. I'm telling you,
It is.
man, it's already
It is.
there.
Yep. Yep. And then we have the California Republic. You know what I mean? Versus
It's the
Sit.
only thing that could be turned into a lightsaber. I
Yep.
mean,
Totally.
you
Yeah, man. I'm telling you, big bro. I'm
could turn
telling
Michigan into Anakin's hand or
you.
Luke's hand.
Are you from Cali?
Hey,
Yeah, man.
whose birthday was yesterday? Was that Sandra or was that no? Bruce had one a couple months ago, so it wouldn't have been Bruce. Whose birthday was yesterday? What's up, dogs?
Happy birthday, guys.
Happy
Can't really
birthday!
see.
Surprised we didn't see you guys out at Weekend Blender. But the Long family, if you have not seen, they have been previous guests on our show. Hey, what's up, Jeff? I definitely still got to talk to you about some 3D printing projects, Jeff. Happy birthday,
Mm.
homie.
Happy birthday, brother.
Um, Yes. Okay, that's another one. So we'll do our first one that we were talking about, and then a curved hilt California lightsaber. I think that needs to be done, dude.
Heck yeah. And then have it into twos and stuff like that. That'd be awesome. A dual Cali.
Nobody can handle two Californias.
Yeah. It's funny because that's after the earthquake. Oh, my bad.
Oh, it'll break in half. It'll be like
Yeah,
a
right.
dual saber that way. The California after the quake.
Right. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Cali love my.
That's pretty dark. That's pretty damn dark. We don't go
I know,
that dark
right?
on this show.
That's the Sith in me, man. That's the Sith in me, man. You know. But
So, do
yeah,
you have
man.
anything that you're working on to let people know about? Like I said, when I thought about bringing you on here, you were just kind of like a jack of all trades. You seem to have your hands in lots of different projects.
Oh yeah. Like one. Like I said, I don't know where to really begin. I did a couple of months back. I ended up going to a film festival called uh, Brave Maker Fest, and I'll put my IG and information in there as well and stuff like that. Where it's a bunch of creatives from the Bay Area want to make it Holly Bay. I got a good friend of mine that actually is a special makeup effects artist. Her name is
Uh,
Margaret Kerrigan. She actually did the season 6 Face Off, and it's on Netflix right now. And
wow.
we were featured 1 year ago at Sinister Creature Con as one of the artists. And yeah, man. Again, DTF's is direct to film. I'm in the T-shirt game, so if anybody's interested in that, I will put the links uh, uh, on wherever I can put it on.
Yeah.
And I pretty much promote like my nephews. They do the collectibles. So anytime you see us at any of the cons, I guess the recent con, and I don't know if you're going to be there, big bro, but it's Mouse Con coming up.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't have. That's this weekend, isn't it?
I think it's next weekend.
Next weekend. Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I'm not in that one, but
But
I've been thinking
yeah.
about going as an attendee, although that's not something I usually do. But anyways, go ahead.
Yeah. So my nephews are actually going to be there, and I'm going to be working their booth, and and in Carver Cave, again, you always got love from us and from me, obviously. So if you need any love and promotional, come by, man. Most definitely, we'll be there at MouseCon. I believe it's in
Yeah.
Concord, California. Yeah. And
And I
some
was
of the
the reason I was going to go out is Anthony Gonzalez from the movie Coco is going to be there,
okay.
as well as one of the other actresses from the movie Coco. But Anthony was one that I had talked to about the idea of putting on the Latin Con. It was him, Kathleen Hurley, and Adasa were the first people that said that they might be interested. So I wanted to get his contact info again for sure. But
Where's
I met with him when he was in Sacramento at Sac Anime.
Okay. Yeah. Well,
Super cool
I've
guy.
bumped into him. Awesome people. Awesome people.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, gonna be there, and then a good buddy, John Morris is gonna be there. He voiced Andy from the Toy
Yeah.
Story. And last weekend, Kat was there.
Cat
Well, I can't
Cassandra.
pronounce her last name. I'm terrible with last name, but yeah, Kat Cressida. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. She played Electra on the voice. She was a voice actress for the video game and the X-Men. She played and Jessie. She played Jessie in Toy Story.
In
Yeah,
which
so
Toy Story did she play? Because she
I,
wasn't in it must have been, I'm guessing the cartoons or something, or
I believe
because
so.
Joan Cusack was Jesse from the movies.
Yeah, yeah, and I believe it was the cartoons, and then she did
She
a
did
lot of
Princess
videos.
Leia as well.
Yeah, man. I couldn't get that one. I was so waiting for that one, and I said, you know what? Let me get the next best one is like Electra and stuff. But yeah, man, very awesome persons, and again, it's just like a kid in a candy store. I was saying that we didn't get this type of love in Toys R Us or KB toy stores. Let me tell you, man. The closest thing that we got was Jeffrey the
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 giraffe.
The giraffe, yeah, and that was pretty much it. You know what I mean? But I heard they're making a comeback, so I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, well, they're supposed to be here for the holidays, so we will see. Yeah, it's really cool to be able to go to these conventions now and have it be a thing where, like, I mean, some of your favorite celebrities or people you grew up on. There's literally for my birthday this year, but I won't say she's like my favorite actress in the world, but she's in one of my favorite movies.
Mm.
And she gave me a free for my birthday. She gave me a free autograph page, and then she later out went to do a shout out for Kyber Cave through her own page, which was super cool. Her name was
Yeah,
Diane Franklin. She was in a movie called Better Off Dead.
I just
She
watched
was Monique,
that.
the foreign exchange student.
Yeah, the language I love, the language I love.
Do you have sisters in France?
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. Uh, what was that one? She squeezed her mouth. I forgot, man. But very nostalgic movie.
France.
I know. Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah,
No,
so
man.
it's interesting who you're going to meet. We've met Starscream, the voice of Starscream, Master Shake from Adult Swim, Teenage Hunger Force, Aqua Teen. God damn it! You never say it. Teenage Aqua. Lynn, help me out. Teenage
Aqua Teen Force.
Lynn.
Aqua Velva. I don't know.
No. Wait, there's four. I'm gonna
Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Aqua
There
Teen
you go.
Hunger Force. Thank you.
There you
Jesus. My brain was gonna explode if I was not able to get those words out in the correct order.
go. Yeah.
Aqua Teen Hunger
Gary
Force.
Anthony Williams. Uncle Ruckus.
Yes. We
Yeah,
met some
yeah, yeah.
fantastic. Yo Gabba Gabba, DJ
Yep.
Lance Rock. Yeah.
Soleil Moon Frye, Punky.
Right. Oh, and she's going to be coming up on the show hopefully in January or February. We're still working out her dates because she has conventions and things that she has to work out. But then
Yeah.
Andy will be coming up too, hopefully in November.
Oh, okay, okay.
Tom Morris.
I, was- yeah, I was tickling John Moore when I first met him. I was like Andy, but I kept forgetting he played Andy, not Woody. I was like, okay, I'm like, and I just like, okay, I need him to sign something, but what do I have? Didn't have an Andy, but I had a Woody. But again,
Right.
very awesome person, and man, and he loves Dr. Pepper. So if you see that man, and if he all of a sudden got an uptick on Dr. Pepper, it's because it's your boy, man, right here. You know what I mean? And no, and it's fun because I came in as a fanboy. Now that I come in doing these cons, I come in as a now a vendor, which is kind of awesome because again, not too while back I fell into some type of health issues, got caught up with corporate, and now I'm just like in my little happy place. I get a chance to meet, again, bro, I literally bumped into Lou Ferrigno, I mean, the Hulk guy, and like you know what I mean, and again, it's you get that chance to meet, or especially some of these up and coming streamers. Which, by the way, I want to give all these cosplayers props. I couldn't even stand a onesie without being super duper hot, man. Let me tell you, these guys are just full in their zone, and I'm like, oh my god, you're just too hot for me. You know what I mean? And it's amazing on the commitment, and it goes fall back to back into even we'll go back to the sabers and stuff like that. If you're passionate and love the things that you do, again, will get you into the right direction, especially with these combat sabers are, again, they're not just sabers for fun. I mean, you can actually use this for some other things. You can call them training tools.
Right.
I mean, and that's another thing with a light. I mean, one of our training tools for our niece is an electric knife, a taser knife. Now, could you imagine getting zapped in? Oh my God, you know what I mean? With a taser knife, but no, man, let's tone it down. But these combat sabers, again, they're built for durability. Let me tell you. And when you got a guy like me. When you got a guy like me, actually, and I will tell you, some of these Arnis sticks, screaming sticks, they come from like a bamboo type wood called rattan. I break these things. Okay, I literally when I train with these things, they literally we have to wrap them up with electric tape so that way they don't split on us. But we literally have to break these things. But now you got, again, these durability training tools. Again, you got all these light, the light combinations, the sound. And the one thing I like about these sabers that you won't get into your Disney thing. And by the way, don't use it on a Disney saber. We've been preaching this the whole weekend, man. This is not your Disney princess sabers. Although they look good, but
Hey,
these are the real. These are the real deal.
I've seen a dope Sailor Moon lightsaber. Yeah.
Again, could you imagine the possibilities? Tron just came out.
There's a Tron lightsaber out there.
Yeah, and could you imagine that I just, and I'm sure that there was ideals about it, but the lights, the light cycle thing, I was like, oh, wait a minute.
That's what it is. And then you and I came up with that other idea about that other movie that recently came out.
Oh man, and we were when me and Van, we were just again talking about these ideals. It was like a kid in the candy store. Research and development, man. Let me tell you, if we were like the urban legend guys, those guys that did the the thing in Alameda, Mythbusters. If we were like them, man, we would have a field day. Let me tell you, and let me tell you, man. Walking Dead, these combat sabers would just. Yeah, it won't slice them, but it will hurt. it will definitely hurt,
Hey man,
so
we're getting ready in the next few minutes to wrap up this segment. Are there things that you want to let people know about, or up and coming things other than what you got going at MouseCon?
Oh yeah, most definitely. Yeah, most definitely. Well, me and the nephews, Ras Spots and Drew Fit Anime, we're gonna be at MouseCon next week. Come by and see us. I'll be over there representing Kyber Cave and the many other factions that I promote. This is my Drew Fit Anime is my nephew's clothing line. He does the Godzilla stuff. We did the this is one of his artwork. This Burning Godzilla. And that's one of them. And this is his Mecha Godzilla.
That's dope. And there was just a Godzilla con recently too.
Yeah, we just did a Godzilla con, and again, it's just so nice. I don't know, man. Asians are aliens to me, man. They don't age. I'm Asian myself, but I totally feel the the detail looks good, but the hood needs tune up. But man, I met that one actress. I can't pronounce her name, but she was in the terrible Mecha Godzilla. She was the whole the thing. I can't pronounce her name, but anyway, it's but very beautiful young lady, and and again, it's just crazy on the skincare products. I don't know what they do. They skinny, and I was like, man, superfoods. You got to know. There's got to be some sort of secret that they're not telling us, man. But yeah, and then another thing is Ras Spot. He's my nephew. He's a Funko Pop dealer. So if you guys are interested,
yeah, I got to get a whole bunch of mine over to that guy.
Yeah. So Funko Pops. I guess K-pop Demon Hunters is a thing. We'll be having their pops pretty soon before January, and I believe January. Miss Audrey Nuna will be at one of the Sacramento cons next in January.
Is she K-pop?
Yeah, she was. She voiced Mira. She was the one with the pink hair.
Yeah. Oh wow. Oh man, that's gonna be her line's gonna be like out.
Man, anytime we bump that song, or if you're a Saja boy doing your soda pop dance, there you go. He's we bump that song, and people just gravitate to it and stuff. And then the next big con is.
You got me thinking next show. I should just set up like a boombox and just play that song on repeat and see if it draws people.
Oh man, most definitely, dude. If you want to dress up like a Saja boy, dude, you could. I mean, me and my nephew got this thing. I have a sticker. We're called Hunk Tricks with a K, not a Hunt. Right. We're called Hunk HUNK Tricks, and we're not K-pop Demon Hunters. We're flip flop. We're Filipino, so we're flip flop Demon Hunters. Peta Hunters. There you go. Yeah, so I will shoot that information on, in the merch game if anybody's interested in the merch game. Again, my name is Jomar. I'm with Basic Designs and Photography. Again, you'll see me, and I don't think you would ever miss me. I think Big Bro will tell you that, man. I talk. I don't know. I will tickle you. Yeah, yeah. Or we'll saber it up because I've been telling Big Bro. Well, my birthday month is November, and before I'm gonna make this a little brief. Next month is gonna be the Fan Expo, so Christopher Lloyd's gonna be there. So I just wanted to point this out real quick that my nephew had gave me this as an early birthday gift that Christopher Lloyd's gonna sign. So check that bad boy out.
Man, I need. How much is his autograph going for? Do you know?
Yeah, Doc with the time machine with the DeLorean. That's great. That's awesome.
Right. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. Now, and again, it varies, but Big Bro, I mean, you in with us, man. You're part of our Avengers, so it's less than nothing to just talk and most definitely get you hooked up. And yeah, man. Thank you guys for having me, man. I was all nervous. I didn't even know what to talk about. Like, really, y'all. I didn't even have my makeup done and done. You literally caught me on oh man, Big Bro. I got you, dog.
Yeah, he's like when he was coming out, he's like, I don't even know what to talk about. I was like, you just let me handle that part, bro.
Yeah, most definitely.
You took care of it, bro. You took care of it, little bro. Like you.
No, my boss definitely, man. And you guys made that Band-Aid ripping a little bit more easier and stuff for me.
You did a wonderful job. Thank you for coming on, especially in the clinch, bro.
Most definitely.
After this is over, Jomar, send over a couple of photos really quick, and then your proper name and everything, so that Uppercuts can change like the pictures and a couple of adjust your name and stuff, so you're not Aaris Schroeder.
Yeah, most definitely. So I'll shoot a couple of pictures that we took over the weekend
on that board thing that we just created tonight.
Yeah, just shoot it.
Oh, I could do it there. Okay.
Yeah. Over there, bro. Yeah, shoot it over there, bro.
Awesome.
All right, man. Thank you so much.
Man. Well, thank you for being on the show, man. We appreciate you, brother. Oh, and there he goes.
And that's our outro.
Hey, that was his outro. There we go.
Imagine your own outro right here.
Dude, I had a freaking amazing outro that I was trying to get, but the stupid StreamYard said that the file was too big. So I'm gonna have to try to compress that for next week for the outro. I didn't want to talk about it because it was a really cool outro. I was really trying to get it lined up, and I couldn't get it lined up. So I'm gonna have
Jomar outro or a show outro?
No, it was a show outro.
Oh.
Yeah.
Remember, for these outros, they only have to be like 10.
I know, but this one was really cool. I really wanted to do it, and it like I said, StreamYard was saying it's too big, so I got to work on some stuff. So it won't be for this show, but I'll definitely get it for next show. And I'll get it compressed down or something, or edited down and chopped down. But it was really cool, and I'm kind of bummed that I couldn't get it out there. But yeah, it was a cool outro. But I'll get it out for the next show. I promise.
I don't know why. Okay, so for everybody in the audience, we have this running joke at a store. I don't even know if Lynn knows about this, but
I don't think
we have a running joke anytime we say 100%. Do you know about that?
No, I don't.
So like when you see a Nike shirt or something like that, it says like 100%, and it usually is like referring to giving it your 100% or giving it your all, right?
Yeah.
In a lightsaber store, 100% means something completely different. In a lightsaber store, 100% means anything that you can say, anything you say in a lightsaber store can automatically be perceived as dirty.
I'm with that. I'm with
100%.
100%, bro. That's
so when you were talking about the reason I bring that up is because you had made a comment, and instinctively I wanted to say 100%, but then I realized it wouldn't have made sense in the context because you and nobody else knows what 100% means.
But I would have gotten it. I get it now, though. I get it now. You could use it now. You said
StreamYard said it was too big, And I was thinking I was like 100%.
100%.
You would
100%, bro. StreamYard is too big. That will be used now. We will that is going to be that's going to be a saber rattle thing now. Like that.
We need to throw up a little graphic that says 100%.
100%. I'll
in case that somebody ever makes a comment that could be seen in different ways, we just throw up the 100% graphic.
100% sign, and we know it's that double entendre right there. So,
I need to get 100% t-shirts made for Kyber Cave too.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Man.
So we didn't. Things did not go exactly as planned.
Not at all.
We will have Aaris Schroeder on in the future. Next week's show, for those that are still here, looks like it's going to be a good one. It's going to be a past guest. I'm going to say it now, although we're still working out the details. But he is back. We were supposed to have Jeffrey Giuliano on, roughly a month ago.
Yeah, that was about a month ago.
3 weeks ago, too.
Yeah, 3 weeks ago. Yep.
But there was some confusion as he was currently filming a movie in another country. Yeah, and we're like, oh, dude, we're not trying to work around, you got a lot. When you're on a movie set, you got a lot to do, and we're not trying to do an
time
interview.
Difference was crazy, and
right.
And the thing is while when we went to air, he didn't I don't think he realized that when we went to air, it would actually be the morning time for his day, for the following day, which is when he would be actually having to be on set. So he was on, I want to say he didn't realize he was going to have to be on set, and he was on set, and he was probably on the call list. It looked like from the pictures he sent me, it looked like he was preparing to be on the call list within the next couple of days. So I figured he was probably number 1 or number 2 on the call list that day, and that's why he couldn't join us. So that's kind of what I surmised. But we do have him back. And he's back home now, and we'll be able to get him back on the show, and we can actually talk about his frolickings in India with filming this new movie. And we'll show some of that too. So
I believe he is going to be, and I promise you guys, I'm going to get a little more organized. Usually I usually have like our guests booked out like a few months in advance, but because I recently had my stroke, the way I go and meet a lot of my guests is either I see people online that are in the lightsaber community, or I meet fantastic celebrities while I'm out at these conventions. So I've been getting lucky a lot lately of meeting really cool celebrities. So we've been getting more celebrities on the show, but I do want to get back into more, kind of make sure that we stay with our roots as well. If you are a lightsaber company and you have not been on here, even though we're a company ourselves, I am happy to let people know about other companies. I think there's enough pie for everybody. If you are a fighter, if you're a flow artist, if you're an installer or a painter, if you do any type of specialty work with these sticks of our approval, please, I would love to talk to you. If you're a sound font creator, met some incredible people. Aaron, our buddy Aaron, who ran on KCAD for years, I met as an interview through being a sound font creator. Actually, same with Anthony. Anthony, who's going to be coming up on our show. I first met him when we did a show it was questioning what was the difference between cosplay and drag queens, because he did both. He was a drag queen. Yeah. So that was my first meeting him, and then he became one of our regulars on our show. So we get to meet a lot of cool people. Graveyard was another one who does retro alcove. So we are very, very fortunate here. If you would like to be on the show, or if you know someone that has some skills or talent in the saber industry, or is as a creative type, we also like to talk about conventions and things like that on here too. Please let us know. Or if you just want to rap out about some of the crazy Star Wars news that is going on. I don't know what's going on. They were talking about, I don't know if you heard, but for a quick minute, there was a reveal that there had been talks about a Kylo Ren.
I was just going to talk about that, bro. That's exactly what I was going to talk about that. So the hunt for Ben Solo, that is, I
did it get canceled?
I want to say it got shot down. It got shot down, bro.
But the thing that was crazy about the reason that one caught my attention is because there was a talks for a couple of years about the Ray movie In and Out, and I've heard about that, right? There was talks about even the Starfighter movie. There was talks about the Taiko Waititi. What's his name? Taika Waititi. There was talks about his movie. So you hear about all these movies coming in and out, and it's to the point now where I'll believe it when I start seeing trailers. You know what I mean?
That's exactly what you have to do nowadays. Like, and it got to be real.
But the one about Ben Solo was under the radar the entire time and actually looked like it may actually come to fruition.
Well, because it was a supposedly it was a Steven Soderbergh freaking like thing, and like you know, you hear the name Soderbergh, like you figure that's legit. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I guess it was rejected by Lucasfilm. Like, I guess
it made it down to the final wire, and then they finally said no.
Disney said no. So I don't know. I haven't looked into the details of why. I've heard here, I'm reading some stuff right now. It says the hunt for Ben Solo, Steven Soderbergh, and Adam Driver's secret Star Wars movie was greenlit before Disney pulled the plug. It says sources close to the project emphasized that this was not a loose concept or early pitch. The film, operating under the code name Quiet Leaves, had finalized screenplay and was entering early prep and staffing stages. Disney purchased a fully developed treatment and beat sheet developed by Soderbergh and screenwriter Rebecca Blunt under the pseudonym Jules Asner, Soderbergh's wife, who also wrote Logan Lucky, and hired Scott Z. Burns, who was paid more than any screenwriter in Lucasfilm history to complete the screenplay. Burns' connection to Star Wars goes back further than most realize. It goes on to say Kathleen Kennedy and Dave Filoni and Carrie Beck were directly involved throughout development and were reportedly enthusiastic about the drafts that came in. And then it goes on to say that it was presented a fully approved project that did not move forward. Update: Soderbergh confirmed the detail himself just months ago via Blue Sky. After the submission, the project stalled at the executive level. Sources then say Bergman took out an unusually a long time to read the script, and when him and Iger finally responded, their primary concern was the narrative continuity, and that's when they decided to scrap it. So yeah. So that's kind of the basic gist of how that whole went down. But like I don't know, it sounded exciting to me. I was kind of I don't know.
I was interested, but I don't know about excitement. It's hard for me to get excited about a lot of the stuff that's happening now. I'm hoping for Star Wars. Okay, I'm just gonna be, for me, and this is just my personal opinion. I don't like a lot of where the storyline has gone, and I'm hoping for revivals. I'm hoping for more. I don't even know if we're gonna get it. I just don't know if it's the time period that we live in. This is some conversation for KCAD and other shows.
I was going to say that might be a KCAD kind of subject right there.
I don't know if movies can be real anymore, man. Like, I feel like real movies have died. Real movies died in like the 90s and the 2000s. Everything is just trying to,
it's
push an agenda or a message or
it's regurgitative.
True storytelling doesn't feel like it exists anymore.
No, it's very derivative, or like I said, we're just regurgitating old shit. Oh, sorry, old stuff. Like I mean, I hate to say it, but that's what we're doing. Like, I don't like. For instance, I'm not even gonna crap on this movie because it actually looks like it's a good rendition of this movie. But there's a new Running Man movie.
Right.
like, come on, bro. Really?
Do we know what's funny? I was at a con like 3 or 4 months ago, and there was I went to buy a soda at the I went to buy a little sandwich and soda at the convention booth or whatever, and it was $6 for a Coke. And I specifically, I don't know why, but my brain like zoomed out. And there's a scene, I don't know if I couldn't find it, but I know it exists. If I had a copy of the movie, I could find it. But there's a scene in the movie Running Man where she's in the aisles where she sees him for the first time, and she's like dumping money into the Coke machine. She's like, "Oh my God, when has it gotten to the point where it's $6 for a Coke?" And I was like, "We're here.
We're here." And that was so far in the future. Like, we're here. Like, it's crazy. No, dude. K-Hog says, heard of Hunt for Ben Solo, but I don't get it. I don't get it. Did he die, or would it be a prequel? I don't know really where they were going, and I think that's why Disney scrapped it, was because there was just some continuity issues that they couldn't really wrap their heads around. I think they really wanted it to be there, but I mean, I'm sorry. I'm gonna be honest. You know, as much as I wanted to like Ben Solo and Ben Solo / Kylo Ren, he was such a tertiary character to me. He was such a freaking he was such a pick me. He was so pick me. He was he was such a pick me, dude. He was like, he wanted Vader. Like he was praying to a broken Vader mask, dude. He wanted Vader to really love him. And I just felt like, dude, you're so I love the actor. I love freaking what's his name?
Ben Driver.
I love Ben Driver, and I think he did a great job with the character he was given. I just felt like that character was. He was so pick. I don't know if I want to see a movie all about him, dude. Because
I you know what I would like to
see. I felt like, I mean, as much as people were upset about Ren and that whole thing, I felt like he was just so. I don't know. It was already too much about him to me. Like,
you know what I would like to see. I want to see a movie about the Knights of Ren.
The Knights of Ren would be great. I also would love to see a movie about what's the freaking character.
What about the Knights of Stimpy?
I want to see a movie about freaking what's his name from freaking the Star Wars video game. Why can't I think of his name?
Star Killer?
Dude, yes. I would love
that. I've heard rumblings that that's in the works.
That's a movie I would pay to see because I love that video game and I would pay to see that movie. That's the movie that Iger and freaking the Disney freaking D-bags need to freaking like crap out. Like that's something that I would be willing to see. Like, you know, and like I said, again, Knights of Ren, I'm there for it. I'm definitely there for that. But do I need to see freaking a Ben Solo origin story? No, I really don't need to see that, Doug. I don't think I need to see it, dude.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like we need, and even George Lucas mentions it, you know, we need to get back to actual story writing and writing for the purpose, and then the money will come.
Yeah.
Do what you love and the money will come. You don't go the other way. You don't go seeking the money and then it comes. You know what I mean? That's what I feel like movies are nowadays. It's just propaganda grabs.
Yeah, it's just let's see what I can dump out and squeeze out and see if it's gonna make some money. And it's like if I can take as many poops like as possible, one of them's gonna freaking be a cash cow. Like that's what I feel like movies have been like lately. And like it's just come on, dude. Like just do some good storytelling. Like because there's so many freaking books out there. There's so many Star Wars books. There's so many Star Wars books. I read Star Wars books all the time. There's so many Star Wars books that I would love to see developed into like in some sort of cinematic aspect, whether it be animation or whatnot. I would love to see that happen. Like where real writing has taken place. Like
the last movie I went to see, actually it was really good. But then again, it's a remake from a Stephen King novel. I went and saw the
Last Mile.
The Long Walk?
The Long Walk, I mean, yes, yeah. Dude,
yeah.
I read that book back when we were in high school, bro. It scared the crap out of me. It was from the Bachman books. And
yeah.
And it was the one story that it was the third story, I believe, in the Bachman books. But because it wasn't a horror portion of the Bachman books, because the Running Man was also in that series of books. Running Man was also there. I remember reading those books and I skipped over the Long Walk and I waited till after I'd read the other stories, and I went back to the Long Walk and realized The Long Walk was the scariest story, the most jacked up story in that whole series of 4 stories. Like there was 4 short stories in the Bachman books, and that was the creepiest, most guttural story out of all of those stories. And then they made a movie out of it, and the movie was freaking amazing, bro.
Right.
And it took them so long to make the movie for that. Like I'm sorry, dude. That was one of the best stories of Stephen King. I'm sorry, Richard Bachman, that I ever read. Like that was by far. You're right.
The point of the matter is that good screenwriting can still exist.
It can, but
here's another one. I'll tell you. The last movie to really other than I was obsessed when Squid Game came out, which is how I ended up meeting some of the actors or whatever.
Yeah, sure.
The other movie I was obsessed with, which doesn't happen very much, is Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Oh, that movie was great. Great story writing, amazing cinematography, amazing story writing. That was amazing. But again, dude, these movies have come so few and far between. They're not like I'm sorry. I come from an era where those movies were back to back. Like there was always like when a movie came out, it was always a movie. It was always original writing. You go back to Back to the Future, those are all wonderful, well scripted. Even some of the more campy ones, the Goonies, they were still well scripted movies. We don't get those movies anymore. We don't get them anymore. We don't.
You know what I think? It is that I feel like all of the studios. I mean, of course, everybody wants to make money, but all they're shooting for are the multi-million-dollar blockbuster movies, and then we're gonna miss out on movies like. I was thinking about this. When we were growing up, we had The Breakfast Club and 16 Candles.
I agree.
We had all those weepy teenage movies.
Yeah.
You don't have those nowadays, I don't think.
No, you don't. But I mean, even movies you look at The Lost Boys, those movies, those were some really just original movies. We don't get the originality. I mean, yes, we get a few and far between. We definitely have movies like Sinners that come out that are cinematic and innovative, like masterpieces. Coogler did a great job with that movie. That's one of the best movies I think I've seen in a long time.
I gotta see that. I've heard really mixed
reviews. Are you freaking kidding me? You have not seen that?
I haven't seen that, but I'm a huge Peele fan.
Bro. Well, Peele was the executive producer, but that was a Ryan Coogler. That was Wakanda, bro. That was Ryan Coogler that did that.
And Coogler's from Oakland.
Yeah, he's from the Bay, bro. He's from our neck of the woods. And dude, that movie was freaking phenomenal. It spoke on so many levels that you have to see the movie. Your homework assignment, my homework assignment is to get the show ready for next week. Your homework assignment is to watch that movie before we reconvene next week. That is your homework assignment.
I gotta see if it's still in the theaters.
It's not in theaters, dude. It's on. You don't have HBO Max. It's on HBO Max, bro.
Okay.
You got to watch it, bro. I'll give you my login if I have to. You have to watch that movie, bro. It's on one of those.
Okay.
I'll
figure it out.
You figure it out, please.
Let's see. Kevin says Independence Day 2 hiring Will Smith because he wanted $40 million salary. I was sure the movie was worse for it, but some movies do pay too much on the salaries.
That's very true.
I think right now Hollywood is getting that. I found it interesting. Who was it? Cat Williams. Cat Williams has been kind of been shitting on. Cat Williams has been kind of downplayed in the industry for a lot of years. And I remember him saying, 2025 was going to be the year people learn some things. You know what I mean? Yeah, and I feel like, with all the stuff that's happening with Diddy, all the stuff that's happening with the Epstein or the Epstein files, in Hollywood in general, people are just kind of over it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
People are over the Kardashian empire.
Right. No, I have to agree with that. And there's going to be a lot of stuff coming to light. And maybe after all this stuff happens, maybe we can get back to our kind of, I don't know, creative nature as a species. I don't know. Like I said, I mean, I see a few movies. Like there's this new movie out, and I forget what it's called. It's but it looks really good. I haven't. It's not even. I think it's coming out in theaters. It's got Emma Stone, and what's his name? I can't remember his name. It's about a conspiracy theorist who he thinks his boss is an actual alien, so he kidnaps her, and like it's a crazy story. But it's original. That's anytime I watch look for a movie preview or a trailer nowadays, I'm like, dude, am I going to see something that's regurgitated, or am I going to see something original? So when I see something that's an original story, I'm just like, I gotta grab it. I gravitate toward it, regardless of how good it is. like it may not be good, but I'm going to gravitate toward it only because of the fact that it's original. Now again, this movie does look really good, and I'm going to give it its due process. But I definitely feel like I don't know. I feel like that they're these are so few and far between that I get so excited about it. Like
I have to get a list. There was one I was excited about, but I didn't get a chance to watch. It came out last year. It was a Demi Moore movie, and I know she had other like controversy that was going on at the time, but her movie looked hella dope, dude. It was called The Substance.
That was a great movie. I watched that.
Did you see that one?
I did see that movie. That was a great movie. The Substance was one of her. It was such a creepy, well concocted movie. Like it was really, really good. It was really good, and it had a good level of creeping you out, but good storytelling involved with it. I liked it. Substance was good. I liked that movie. Like it was really good.
Hey, this one goes back a while, but you know who are the masters of like creeping you out and then pulling your heartstrings at the same time are friggin' Korean directors, dude. Have you seen Train to Busan?
No, I haven't seen that one.
Oh, bro, if you haven't seen Train to Busan, that's on your homework list.
Okay, all right. Well, like I said,
it's a zombie movie, so don't watch it late at night, though.
Okay, I won't.
And those Koreans do zombies a whole different way than we do.
No, the Koreans are I'm sorry. They do. I've seen some Korean movies that have definitely creeped me the heck out. But the movie that I'm speaking of in particular is Begonia. Begonia.
Oh, yeah, I've seen the ad for it, but
that's the one where it says two conspiracy obsessed men kidnap the CEO of a major company when they become convinced that she's an alien who wants to destroy the earth. That I think, like, to me, especially in the times we're living in now, like that seems to be like a pretty fitting. But again, it's original. Where we've got to get back to our thing where like where we're making original movies. That's what we like. There was like, there was none of that.
Tired of remakes and
reboot. I mean, reboot after reboot after reboot. I mean, yeah, they were fine the first reboot, but like, and you know what? I get it. You know, when you're dealing with comic books and stuff, like, you know, that's one thing to do a reinventing of someone's interpretation of a comic book hero or whatnot. But even that starts to get really tired. Like after a while, like I'm just like, dude, just keep a lineage. Like, you know, I mean, I will say this. You know, Marvel seems to be stepping their game up. Like, you know, Fantastic Four was actually pretty good. I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty impressed with that. Like that was good. We'll see how Doomsday does. But I'm at the point where I'm not even really. I remember there used to be a time where me and you used to look forward to Marvel movies coming out. Like we used to look forward to Marvel movies coming out. Now it's kind of like, well, I might just catch it on Disney Plus.
You know what happened? Here's exactly what happened. At that time when we were getting flooded with the Disney streaming and stuff like that, you had all the Star Wars movies and all of the Marvel movies. They had just been bought by Iger.
I know.
And so now they went the wrong direction. What made both of those successful was that there was enough time between projects that people could get excited for it. But then when Disney took over and just started loading it back to back and making more about putting more shows out there than putting out quality content, that's when it became a homework. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And at K-Hog, I do agree with you. The graphics, the storytelling was good, but that ending did kind of lose it for me too. I'm just looking forward to maybe possibly a good tie-in with the whole Doomsday thing. It's just me putting faith in Marvel Studios, where I don't know if they deserve it. But yeah, I agree, man. I totally agree, man. Like I
personally don't put that as much on Feige as I do on the Disney Studios, pressuring him to put out more projects.
You're right. Feige doesn't get like Feige. I'm not mad at. I'm not like Feige is. I feel like he's kept the Marvel ship somewhat afloat in the sea of corporate debauchery that goes on behind the scenes, like the whole, like, you know, having to deal with the manja pleasing the masses kind of thing. Like I feel like Feige has actually done a good job. Him, Filoni, like, you know, they've managed to like kind of keep the Marvel names not as sullied as it seems to have kind of gotten. You know, I don't even want to like go on too far of a tangent, but you know, I'm looking at what James Gunn is starting to do with the DC universe, and I'm actually like, are you going to tell me? I mean, I've always been a freaking DC fan. Like, I've never not been a DC fan. I love my Marvel and whatnot, but I've always held DC in my heart because DC had a lot of original comic book characters that I still covet till this day. But you know, the Zack Snyders and some of the other people have kind of never really lived up to that DC standard. And I feel like James Gunn is starting to kind of propel that. You know, you look at Creature Commando, you look at the new Superman movie. The new Superman movie I thought was phenomenal. Like I thought it was one of the best Superman movie to ever come out. Like it totally freaking stomps out Zack Snyder's freaking version of Superman and then you know, like I said, Creature Commandos, and then you look at Peacemaker. Like Peacemaker is one of my favorite freaking shows, man. Like
and I actually liked the Suicide Squad that he did.
Yeah, the Suicide Squad that he did, the second Suicide Squad that he did was freaking amazing. Like cinematically and just like I said, so like James Gunn is really, he's about, I feel like he's gonna be like, I feel like Marvel did a great disservice to themselves by somehow not appealing to freaking whatever James Gunn wanted, like, and lost him to DC. like Marvel lost because, so I'm sorry, Guardians of the Galaxy 1, 2, and 3.
That's probably the best Marvel
series.
project.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, most definitely. And they let that go. They let that genius go. I know he's a bit of a dick. I know he's kind of a bit of a jerk off, but I don't know. The guy still sounds good in interviews, and he makes some good content, man. I'm sorry. He makes some damn good content.
I'll tell you what, I'm not a Superman fan. I've never been a Superman fan just because I always felt like he was way OP. Yeah. But I went to see Superman only because of James Gunn.
Yeah. And what did you think?
I thought it was good. Again, he's still not my favorite, but I'll stick with the DC universe. I'll see what else it has, because I loved, like I said, I loved Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
And even just like, you know, like I feel like what James Gunn does so well is that he actually, even if it's only for a little bit, he opens up on who some of these characters actually are. Like, I really loved in Suicide Squad, like, you really got how lonely Shark,
like name, freaking Killer Shark.
Yeah. Killer Shark, yeah. Like you saw all he wanted was a friend. You know what I mean?
And that's the beauty of James Gunn. Like I said, like, okay, so I don't know. Like I said, again, I'm a huge DC fan, and a Green Lantern, one of my favorite characters to ever grace the comic book pages. But I don't, you know, obviously you know who Guy Gardner is. And Guy Gardner, anybody that knows DC and knows Guy Gardner is the douchiest Green Lantern that ever existed. He was a douche on comic book pages. And of course, what does James Gunn do? James Gunn cast Nathan Fillion, one of the greatest actors that I think have graced like all of freaking nerddom. Like he's he Firefly. That's all I have to say. Nathan Fillion with a bowl cut as Guy Gardner, and he did one of the best. He portrayed Guy Gardner better than I could have ever imagined. Like
right.
he was that guy. He was Guy Gardner. That was the thing. It's the character development pulling a character that nobody likes. Nobody likes Guy Gardner, the Guy Gardner Green Lantern. If you ask any comic book fan, they love to hate Guy Gardner, and he brought Guy Gardner into this universe and made him hilarious and made him a good character. That's the power of James Gunn. That's why.
Well, remember back to, and it's kind of funny because I remember when Guardians of the Galaxy came out, the only reason I had ever knew anything about it was because of you. And I only knew that it existed. I didn't really know, because I remember, because I think Rocket has been one of your favorite characters for a long time, right?
Oh, yeah, I've always loved Rocket Raccoon. Yeah.
So I only remember that Guardians existed, but I didn't really know anything about it. I was like, man, this is like, I think at that time period, that was a huge gamble for Marvel, because Marvel was just at the point where they had made their reputation, but they could still easily slip backwards.
Easily slip back into obscurity. They could have easily slipped back. They had Iron Man. They were riding the Iron Man success.
Captain America, Iron Man.
Yeah. But they could have easily slipped in, and Guardians of the Galaxy pulled them into a certain, like, it propelled them a bit. Like, and platformed them for a lot of other stuff. People were waiting to see the Guardians in more stuff. Like, and again, that was attributed to James Gunn. Like, so I don't know. We kind of went on a bit of a tangent, dude. We ran long tonight. And I've got
to tell you the truth, it's kind of funny. I was using tonight's show as an experiment a little bit on this show. Like I said, I've been running the show for a long time. So, sometimes I wanted to just try things to see how things work. So I wanted to see what would happen if, like, I just kind of let this keep going in just a discussion about, nerd crap. And we kept our viewership, which is kind of funny. I thought I was for sure certain that, once Joe
came out, like logging off, like it would have just been me and you at some point. So, hey guys, thank you for sticking with us and
sorry to make you my guinea pigs for tonight.
But we appreciate you guys, man. Thank you guys so much for sticking with this conversation and being here for us, like while we ranted on this whole thing. And we really didn't even come to a conclusion, and which I feel like we should just maybe just say, hey, we'll just come back to this on the next episode at some point. Like, maybe this will be a thing. Maybe we'll come back to, we'll pick up where we left off. Like,
there's the thing that maybe it could be, we could, we can do a segment about, movie news or whatever. That could be what nerdy news evolves into.
Hey, I'm all for it, bro. I'm all for it. I'll create a graphic for it, and that's what nerdy news evolves into, is actually getting into some discussions, not just spinning some news, but actually discussing about like making a full-on discussion about that nerdy
our
news.
Thoughts on what's going on in
the nerdosphere, as you will. But dude, it was great talking to you about that. Like, and I didn't even smoke that much tonight. So like,
I'm gonna bring back real quick because Joe Mar just happened to be in.
Yeah.
Joe Mar.
Oh,
as soon as I bring him in, he jumps out. Anyways, he had left a message for saying thanks for having him, and if we ever need him again, that
he's back on. I'll bring him back on.
Back
up, bro.
What's up, brother?
What's up, brother? I have you on the YouTube. I have you on all platforms right now. I'm like, which is better to?
It's funny. We were doing an experiment after you left. I just wanted to keep the show going for a while just to see what would happen. And it's people are still watching. So
yeah, we decided to talk about some nerdy stuff and
I saw, man. I mean, luckily I wasn't even in the Marvel conversation, man. I was like, you were talking about James Gunn and then like Guardians of the Galaxy, and I just wanted to add in my little spiel. I didn't know who that. I mean, I knew Guardians, but I wasn't a fan. You know what I mean? Until
Right.
he brought it, and then man, even the Christmas. Oh my God, the Christmas special.
Great.
That was fantastic.
That was
Kidnapping
fantastic.
Kevin Bacon.
That was one of my favorite joints.
Dude, we finally got to see Kevin Bacon. Like that was the greatest thing. And so I don't know, like I don't know. He has a way. James Gunn has a way of taking characters and really like he'll make you invest in that character no matter what that character's background is, no matter where that character comes from. He's gonna make you kind of like that character no matter what. Like he I don't know. He has a way. He did it in Creature Commandos. He has a way of taking certain actors. He's got he's got a core set of actors. He's got like Nathan Fillion. He's got Michael Tudyk. He's got what's his name?
His brother.
Yeah, his brother.
Sean Gunn.
Sean Gunn. He's got Michael Roker. That's what I was thinking of. Michael Roker. And
Michael Roker.
Yeah, Michael Roker. He's got a core cast of people that he dips into every time that he lets them shine, no matter what. These guys like have all featured in both like Peacemaker and all other.
Oh man, I wanted to add the Peacemaker too, man. I mean, it's like, I didn't know who the hell Peacemaker was until Suicide Squad, and instant fan, man, instant fans. Especially Idris Elba, that one scene. Come on now.
Yeah.
I mean, competition between each other.
Yep.
By the way, before I forget too, I totally forgot about the Uppercuts. We may need to convince our boy Jomar. I totally forgot my man has editing skills. So we might need to convince him that he needs to be a part of this crew.
Man,
we might have to discuss that behind the scenes. We might have to talk about that. So
and Mr. Uppercut, most definitely. I would love to work with you on a couple of things too, man. Shoot out ideas and stuff like that. Hey, I'm with it, bro. Like I said, I seeked out you guys. I wanted to find out where I'm at, man. I feel like Ray at this point, you know what I mean? Not crying, not the crying part, like where do I fit and where do I belong and stuff.
You know what, dude? We definitely could use an editor for this show to help us out. And if you were interested, one of the cool benefits of being a host of this channel is you get lightsabers named after you.
Yeah.
Ooh, there you go. Hell yeah. Joe Mar. If it says Joe Mar, uppercuts. I mean, Van Gogh. I mean, come on now. Why not?
I am totally
well, definitely, Jomar, let's talk behind the scenes. I totally forgot about your editing skills. We definitely need editing help on this show.
I'm a big GI Robot fan, by the way. Just got to let you know, coin operated boy. Like I'm a total GI Robot fan. So again, Creature Commandos, James Gunn. I'm nerding out. My bad. Sorry.
No. What's it called? What's it called?
So Creature Commandos. It's animated. It's an animated series directed by James Gunn. It's on HBO, HBO Max. Check it out. It's basically Amanda Waller gets in trouble for doing the Suicide Squad after freaking Rick Flag Jr. dies, and she can't do Suicide Squad no more. So what does she do? She creates her own Suicide Squad, but she doesn't get in trouble because they're not alive. They're all creatures. They're creatures.
They're like zombies. Okay, I think I seen a clip.
So she's got GI Robot, who's a Nazi killing robot that only likes to kill Nazis, which again, he's great. Like, and then you've got the Bride, who is the bride of Frankenstein. She's technically not alive. None of these creatures are alive, so she can't get in trouble. So she can't get the whole Task Force X thing is not a big deal. She can still carry out her Task Force X missions and projects, but not get in trouble because these aren't alive. They're not living creatures. So yeah. So Creature Commandos, you got to check it out. it's amazing. It's awesome.
Gotta
And the
watch it.
guy that voices Flag in the Creature Commandos animated show actually plays Rick Flag in the second season of Peacemaker. So
Nice.
yeah. So
Well, we definitely got some homework to things to check out.
yeah. So I think we should end the show, man. I've got to work in the morning. I love you guys, Saber Rattle crew. You guys are freaking awesome. I just want to give another shout out to Jomar. I'm going to bring him back up just one real quick, but I want to give a shout out to Jomar. Thank you very much for joining us, guys. We love you.
Thank you, brother.
I don't have an outro, so I'm gonna let us.
Hopefully, like I said, Jeffrey Giuliano from Squid Game season 1 will be here next week, letting us know about his newest movie that he was on set filming just a month ago. So
yep, I'm gonna ride with an older outro, but here we go. You guys are awesome, and you know what? We'll talk soon. Thank you,
Thank you, brother.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Love you guys.
Love you.
May the Force be with you. The Force?
And the Force is what gives the Jedi his power. It's an energy field created by all living things. It surrounds us, penetrates us, it binds the galaxy together.
May the Force be with you.